we accept this guy? I think at this point, we might need to. But the cult might just want that. The thing is, we haven't seen anything truly. But as confirmed to be mystical. It's all been explained by human means. Let's accept it this time. Aw, shit. It failed. Why me? Although you have hundreds of questions, this is both the most urgent and the first which you're able to verbalize. You are a doctor. You understood the concept of a healthy carrier. You are infected with the original strain, derived from Hastalik himself. Yet you are here, neither dead nor healed. Can you feel it there inside you, pervading your entire being? It has been there the whole time. And now that Hastalik is near, it has been reawakened. The healthy carrier. Entirely unaware of the fact, this whole time, you yourself would have been the perfect subject for your research on the disease. Although it must, of course, have been a different strain. For the simple fact that you contracted the disease from a sick man, and not via inoculation by the syringe of the cult. If you were not caught up in this absurd and distorted reality yourself, you would no doubt find the tragic irony of it all somewhat amusing. Hastalik is a disease itself, yet its essence is never confined. His body is like a swarm. Every particle of disease is part of him. He is the disease, and all its emanations, but Hastalik is many of the diseases too. He is, what did that doctor call it? A virus. Nightap constantly shifts in appearance and position. For some seconds he is on your right, as one of the black men you met in Delft. Then he is 3 steps ahead of you, a stern-looking coach driver. Since you're already in communion with Hastalik, you're the perfect candidate for the climax of the rite taking place in a number of hours, in conjunction with a passing comet. As such, however, you're also only element that could ruin it. His final words come from behind you, so you turn your head. But when you do, there's nothing there. You not even bother looking around, because you have realized in this world, vision is no longer the primary sense. Nightap is gone, abandoning you to the strange and distorted reality. Crazy. Nice. 152 experience, good. After talking to Nightap, the dream world in which you find yourself starts to have some semblance of meaning. Although it is just as ill-defined as before, now at least make an educated guess at what direction to take. Now you feel that you're able to make an actual decision instead of drifting aimlessly around these chambers. Order backwards. Let's go forwards. Walking is still rather difficult, and you are frequently hit by waves of disorientation and nausea. Nevertheless, you are confident that you're somehow advancing. With no points of reference, however, you have no way of knowing where or to what you are heading. You sense something almost more like a feeling than a sound. Sound. Not a sand. Like movements in the sand. Horrible shadows materialize in front of you. At first they look like the ugly stains, or like the ugly stains of the darkness, but then their outlines become more defined. They are horrific long-limbed entities with claws and deformed, eyeless heads. Yeah, that would be pretty creepy. I mean, look at that picture. I say kill it with fire. You instinctually run in the opposite direction, the shifting, creeping beasts. As they get closer, you can hear the piercing sound of the snarls. Your mind is still recovering or receiving distorted signals from your environment. Yet your desperation to escape is helping you to focus. The beings are beginning to move in front of you with fast and wild bursts of movement. They seem to log well in this place. That is no place. You have to find a way out now. Or your escape becomes futile, and your determination is no longer enough. Your party would like to give up. It'd be so easy now to let yourself be snatched up and just give way to oblivion. Deeper inside, though, you still have your fear and anger. Jake Huntington is still there, strung away on the inside. Suddenly you're confronted by another image. Latest apparition has upon her face a smile that leaves you breathless and stops your heart. Helen raises a hand, inviting you to take it in yours. She is how she was before the disease. How she was when you first fell in love with her. Your sweet Helen is there before you, smiling and stretching her pale hand out to you. You feel as if she has appeared now to save you. Alrighty. So, run to your outstretched hand. Take and ever lead to salvation. Yeah. Something about that just seems a little off. An illusion of her dead wife who keeps showing up, giving us horrible nightmares, is somehow going to save us. Or, it cannot be her. Just an hallucination. Escape, yes. You want to scream, to crowd and rage. Get another form of torture this nightmare's place has for you. The apparition that beckons you to its side cannot possibly be Helen. She may even perhaps be there as bait in some sort of hellish trap. You renew your effort, pushing your will to survive, and your strength to the very limits in your attempts to escape. The outstretched hand in front of you slowly becomes an obscene clawed stump. From the contorted face of the false Helen comes an ear-splitting screech of anger and frustration. You throw a last look at the creature, which pretends to be your dead wife. Shocking! I'm not gonna believe any of this shit. This is Hastelik's doing. The figure no longer resembles a human being. Its gaping mouth is pulled back to reveal hundreds of sharp teeth, and continued back covered its entire head, now surrounded with obscene wriggling tentacles. The monster is now flanked by the other creatures, and it directs them towards you, as if in charge. You start running, but how long will you be able to run? You can only keep trying to escape. You run on with renewed vigor. You're beginning to better understand the structure and nature of this reality. Your senses, too, are starting to become habituated to the bizarre colors of distorted alien shapes. These changes might not necessarily Be positive. You begin to see some possibilities in terms of directions, as if a path had opened in front of you. Could that finally be a way out of this world? A space? You are strained to the limits of your physical capabilities, all the time hearing behind you the awful noises of beings chasing you. Then you realize you do not know whether your senses have betrayed you. Desperately looking for logic there where there is none, or whether this is a new trap laid by this nightmarish world. There is no space, no way to escape, and your run ends in the clutches of the dark creatures all around. The shadow beings are on you immediately, and wrap themselves around you. They are hungry, and there's nothing you do to stop them. You try to fight back and to break free, but before long, you can feel the flesh being slowly torn from your body in large chunks. The pain is overwhelming, and soon is the only thing filling your senses. Your eyes close. Are we dead? Nope. When you open your eyes a moment later, the ghastly thorns have vanished. The pain too is suddenly gone, and your body is whole once again. Now, however, you are falling. You're falling through a space at a seemingly ever-increasing rate. You speed up until your velocity is ridiculous. The nightmare world precipitates away, falling from perception, while dark nothingness rushes towards you. Damn. We're going through some crazy shit. Will we save the world, though? Guess we'll find out. You wake up with a start, find yourself sitting back in your rock-walled cell. The cultist woman is gone. You still feel feverish and sore all over your body, but less so than before. Experience points, good. You are panting heavily. You have just experienced the worst of feverish nightmare, yet it seemed also real. Perhaps only certain parts of what happened to you in that dream, what happened to you happened in that dream world. It could be that your dream functioned as a kind of portal. You feel quite sure their encounters with Nightap and the other beings were actually real. At the entrance of the cell appear 3 cultists, 2 women and a man. One of the women and man approaches you. Approaches are pulling up your shirt. The other woman is carrying a sponge and a bowl filled with a clear, pungent fluid. Resist? Or give no resistance. Let's try to resist. These cultists are no quarter. You shake and try to break free. The man gets a firm hold in your arms. You take advantage of your sitting position to throw a few hard kicks to defend yourself. You land a hard kick to the man's solar plexus, who is bent forward from the blow. You're about to hit the back of his head with all your strength when one of the 2 women hits an iron grip on your wrist with unexpected strength. The other one needs you in the face and sidles up to your ear. We can do this nicely or not nicely. It makes no difference at all to us. The ritual does not require your arms and legs even broken to take place. We don't need you to be able to walk. We can easily drag you to the inner temple. By this time, the man has got up. Now he hits you hard in the gut. Bent over, gasping for air, your visitors resume your ritual evolutions. After they strip your shirt, you're left alone with the woman who's continuing the evolution of your body. I will now walk out of here, and you'll follow me calmly as can be, or shall I have to call to be forcibly dragged away? While you're considering your options, the woman puts her hand to her mask and raises it slightly. When you see her face by the dim light of the cell, you are thunderstruck. Aida! She's a cultist? That prick. You remain firm and impassive for a few moments. You saw Aida die, and so seeing her now would be blowing your mind. Perhaps it would have before today, or up until a few hours ago, but not now. Not after the unspeakable things you have just seen. You just look at her without speaking. You know manifold aspects of Nightap. You've started to look out for other hidden realities beyond your own. You knew me as Aida. To others I've been known as Yolanda. To others as Madame Yi. Now you know who I am. I am the Witch of Dreams, servant of Azathoth. I'm Yidra. The reality around you seems to bend and warp. You find yourself in a distorted and disturbing dream world in which you met Nightap. Only this time you're definitely awake. Yidra's appearance is no longer that of a shy Polynesian girl. She is now a resplendent goddess. You cannot help but look on in awe. Nightap spoke to you about the god Hastalik, speaking in chains below his temple, and the worshippers of his want to awaken him and hand over the earth and all of humanity to satisfy his appetite. The summoning Hastalik would only ruin and sully this world, which belongs to Azathoth. You are paralyzed, stunned. Despite all your recent experiences, you are still shocked by intrusions from the dream world. Or perhaps it is Yidra herself who shocked you so. You could somehow sense her vast, hidden power. The time of Azathoth will come, and the earth must be delivered to him pure. Hastalik should not be unleashed, and his attempts to defile the earth must be punished. His chains must be tightened, and his prison made even smaller. His every possibility of escape must be taken away forever. I feel like we should stop both of them. You feel something, as if a hand lightly touching your skin, and a loving caress. But there is no hand, and you trust fall open to her hips. Yet you are certain that it is she who is somehow touching you. You take a step backwards at the thrill of her touch. I met you when I was incarnate. I was the one to make the fog and to bring you to the island. For some time, I've been watching different branches of the cult of Hastalik, and I needed to meet you personally without outside interference. Her face carries a strange smile, somewhat between malevolent and pleased. Without knowing how, as if she had whispered it in your ear, you become aware that by interference, she means Nightap. I know Hastalik is inside you. but I cannot accurately gauge the extent of your contamination. There was a time when we could have joined forces. But perhaps it isn't too late after all. Maybe there's still a chance. You could feel her eyes heavy upon you, searching inside you for something. What is she looking for? It is here, in this place, that my power is at its zenith. It is here and now, but we will to sabotage the cult's ritual and destroy both Hastalik and the cult once and for all. If we join together now, perhaps I could even win over your infection. You're struck by sudden awareness. She will not make you do it. She will not force you. Whatever her motives or purpose in her power, it is you who must decide. Refuse or accept. We need to take out the cult. And we may even be able to survive. So yeah, let's accept. Omen Exitio. You close your eyes to focus clearly on these two women. And then know at once that, in this realm, there is no need to vocalize your answers. The contact made with Idra's hands becomes more intense. And suddenly your senses explode, and you are flooded with lofty feelings of attraction that go far beyond your physical desire. Okay then. You were drawn closer, and then both swept away. Your spirit is transmitted elsewhere. You feel the weight of the moon and stars looming over you. You dare not open your eyes, partially in fear that you would somehow get lost in surrounding madness. Your contact and union with Idra is physical, yes, but is something else beyond the power of normal senses to feel or of language to describe. Okay then. When you are coming to the peak, time itself begins to implode, bringing it definitely with you. Then suddenly reality comes back like a sledgehammer, and you're back in the cell. Then this is a dream. This definitely isn't. You can smell the damp air and feel the texture of the ground below your feet. Just her mask, and suddenly she's no longer Idra. Someone who replaces her starts collecting up the bowl and sponge, as if nothing had happened. As if this person noticed nothing at all. Idra had been wearing her body as a vessel. Two large cultist men enter the cell, grab you by the arms, and carry you off. Okay, there's a save point. Alright guys. This is a great point to end it. We are getting very close to the end game here. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Will we stop the bad guys? We'll see. But I guess I'll have to see you next episode.